Hello, Parlor and Minds and YouTube. It's Tuck. I am greeting you from Ohio. It's the 28th of September 2019. It's Saturday, and I just wanted to thank all of you, whether I've been having commentary correspondence with you on YouTube for a year or on other platforms for just a few days. I really have appreciated your contributions to my thought process as I've gone forward into this idea of launching some of my own videos on these platforms. Hopefully I also will have people listening that I've known half my life or most of my life or all of my life. Hi, Mom. And I really appreciate all the ways that each of you has contributed to this process that I have been going through. So thank you. The conversation that we have online is really important and valuable, and it's so helpful that we can connect across miles and miles and miles of distance at any time of the day or night, and I'm incredibly grateful for that in our technology. But it's also true that it's a very expansive conversation, and I've noticed that on the one hand I want to focus that down so often to an area that I think is really important, but I also want to expand the audience and wish that more people could be involved in the conversation. So that's what these videos are attempting to do. The area that I work in my therapeutic consulting is attachment primarily. That predominates in my own thinking about healing. And by that, I mean our fundamental patterns of relating to everything in our world. And what I have seen as I've looked out at our world is that a lot of the things that have impact us, the experiences that impact us personally and in our small groups, our small communities, get really big when they get extrapolated onto the large stage of our country or our whole world. And I think we're beginning to see some of the harms that have come to us individually projected in a very large form on a very big screen. And I think because of that, that looking at those difficulties and the struggles that we are having to be civil and pro-social through the lens of attachment would be a very helpful lens to look at, both because it would help us describe what we're seeing and possibly to address the things we need to address to make changes. So my goal in this little video was just to give you a little introduction to my intention and my thought process. And then over the next 12 weeks, I know, very ambitious, I'm hoping to roll out a series of 60 videos, 5 a week on the weekdays, to help introduce the framework for a conversation about how to look at our current set of predicaments through an attachment lens. And so I'm looking at posting Monday through Friday between now and Christmas time. Please bear with me. I'm terrible with technology. As much as I appreciate some things about it, it also makes me crazy. So I'm going to be learning as I go. But I appreciate that there are folks out there that are interested in this as a topic and as a framework for our conversation. So I'm hoping to spend the first 6 weeks looking at laying out the scope and the dynamics of the problem that we have with attachment within ourselves and how it's projected onto our larger culture, and then go into 6 weeks of how we solve that, how we reweave our connections so that they're stronger and healthier instead of being weak and limited and distorted. I'd like to take one topic per week and then have kind of the same format each week. Start Monday with what some specific terms mean, and then Tuesday with how those meanings shape our model of the world. Wednesday, dig into a particular aspect of the topic, and then Thursday, look at our 21st century through that lens, the lens of that particular topic in relation to attachment. And then Friday, get a little reflective and look at attachment, that particular aspect of attachment we've been dealing with for 4 days, but through the lens of ancient faith. I'm particularly moving more deeply into ancient Eastern Christian faith, which has interesting things in common with people of lots of different faiths. And so I think that's a good place to have the conversation from, even though I know it doesn't share everything in common with anybody who's not an Eastern Orthodox Christian. but it shares a lot of elements in common with lots of things. So I'm hoping that that will help frame some of our time for the Friday conversations. So anyway, all of you probably know these platforms better than I do and are very adept at using them. So hopefully you will, if you like this idea, you will pass it along and get some folks on board and get them listening to this whole series and get them involved in this part of our larger societal conversation. I definitely look forward to hearing from any and all of you. I definitely want to connect about what you're thinking. I would hope to be able to answer all civil and constructive comments and look forward to having a place where all of you can talk with one another around these issues as well. So anyway, enjoy yourselves. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will touch base on Monday. Thank you. Take care. God bless.